Okay, we are live with the 5 map championship game 6 in the North American League. This is our final game on base map. In this game we have Matt the Lesser, Relentless Ruin, Alaran, and B-Ball Race. We're just waiting for all the players to join up in on the game, and then we will have a game. Okay, cool. So still waiting for a couple of players to hop in. Um, Made a couple of tweaks to my stream layout, taking a page out of Oh, looks like the game started or was deleted. Let me check on that real quick. Try and find the game. Oh, hey, what's up, Yusoba? Trying to see what happened with the game, because there was a game on my screen and now it's gone. Ah, it's because the game started. Cool. So let's go to the game. Alright, players are still selecting factions. No factions selected yet. So let's look at the setup we're working with. We have big buildings round 1 into digs, into dwellings, temples in 4, and then double TPs to end the game. Missing dwelling scoring, coins, and TP scoring. So potentially, hey Eric, potentially a little bit of, it's definitely a coin tight game, and maybe a game that might be a little hard to play tall with only the 2 scoring tiles. And the track's a little weird. I mean, finishing on double TP scorings, you know, you kind of want like a round in between the TP scoring rounds in order to really, it's going to be really hard to hit both of them, especially because there's going to want to be some TPs built earlier to hit the temple round. Huh. 2 fire rewards, an air reward, an earth reward. Interesting collection, and then set up for the game. Still deciding on our factions. Who would I want to put in this game? I am a sucker for a good Giants game, and I think this track is set up in a way that Giants could succeed. They have the 2 most important scoring tiles for them in big building and ship scoring. You get to open on your stronghold, score for digs in this round. I mean, I think it's incorrect to pick Giants, but God, I want somebody to pick Giants. Conspirators make a good amount of sense here, right? You want to open on your big building, get some temples in later. Conspirators are just, you know, a fun faction to play. I like that selection. Let's see who else our players decide to add in. I think Selkies could potentially be decent on this track as well. I know Selkies were popular in a number of the Lakes game, and even some of the Archipelago games that have already been run. Yeah, no. Conspirators generate a ton of coins, especially if they early stronghold. Um, and in a coin-tight game that rewards an early stronghold, I think Conspirators makes a lot of sense. They're also just like, I don't know, I have a lot of fun playing the Conspirators. Oh, Conspirators are definitely happy in a coin-tight game. I think the fact that the game is coin-tight is an argument for putting in Conspirators. Um, but I don't know if I would want to put in Conspirators first, because they usually want to play Colty, but they're not always the best at playing Colty if there are other true Colty factions in. Chaos from Matt. Matt likes creating chaos in faction selections, so this fits. Um, yeah, I guess the hope would be to land on the big building tile in round one and open Sanctuary as the chaos game plan, which is totally viable, and I think the rewards line up kind of nicely for chaos. Um, and if they end up on coins instead of big building, they can definitely get up to 4 on fire. Prospectors, I think, have been the MVP faction so far in the league. I think there's been more like firsts and seconds on Prospectors than any other faction. So just taking a raw power faction makes sense. A little odd to see Prospectors in a coin-tight game, but I don't know. They get a lot of coins from their strongholds, early Earth reward in the digging round, and then a second coin reward. So if they try and position themselves culty and put a bunch of priest to cult in the first few rounds, I guess that makes sense. Hi, Jekyll, welcome. Our players are still selecting factions. We have Conspirators in seat 1, Chaos in seat 2, Prospectors in seat 3, and B-Ball is deciding on what he wants to put into seat 4. I know if Matt was still sitting in seat 4, he would pick a yellow faction here to create the full sandwich, because Matt likes that kind of chaos. I'm interested to see if B-Ball does the same. Or if he does something more restrained, like picking a blue faction or a black faction. I think Swarmlings could be decent on this track. Any time they get to open big building, and the big building tile's in, so like it is theoretically possible if they get enough if Swarmlings get enough leech, that they could open Stronghold Sanctuary, which is one of the coolest things to do in Terra Mystica. Yeah, TPs in the last 2 rounds is a bit of a headache, right? Having to figure out, especially with temples in the round right before, so they probably want to build quite a few temples here, and they have incentive to build at least one big building here if they're a big building faction. Like, it's an intriguing setup. Plus, who doesn't love a classic base map? All right, Swarmlings is the 4th faction chosen, so we have a game and we have an auction. Bidding starting on Prospectors makes a ton of sense to me. I think they're probably just the strongest faction. I'd argue it's possible that Prospectors are just the most powerful faction that are available in the tournament. I don't know what's the push and pull on them, though. Is it better to have these 2 coin rewards from the cults, or if it's better, or if it's worse to be missing 6 coins in dwelling scoring, so it's going to be harder to to pass on to some coin income. But I think it's just hard to argue against prospectors. Oh, yeah, I could put the browser in full screen. Good call, Eirik. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay. That's true. The Priest and the Dig Scroll are also really good for prospectors, especially with Priest Reward in round 4. Okay, so most of the bids are on prospectors and swarmlings. That makes sense. I mean, I think they're just the two generically best factions, whereas conspirators or chaos magicians are the more interesting factions. Yes, yeah, I agree. That's part of the power of prospectors. No, I guess the only spade rewards are round 5, so that's a little bit of a ding. Yeah, no 6 coins is the scary part. And I think they want to get that second temple up early in order to hit the priest reward in round 4. The priest occult reward, I should say. But maybe they just like try and land on the spade and the priest tile a few times in order to get their priest count up. I know they're definitely going to be trying to angle to get that first priest to earth. I can only think of 2 CM games in the tournament. I played CM on Lakes to a second place, playing a tall game, because I got cut off from going east pretty early, and then Lord Aslan played CM on Archipelago, but only managed a 3rd place against Fruity got second on Dwarves, and I can't remember who got first. I think it might have been NASCAR got first on Prospectors in that game. But I think those are the only 2 CM games we've had so far in the tournament. I mean, the most interesting Red Faction game we've had was when Dwarf Hamster played No Strongholds. Yeah, that is a good combo. Let's think a little bit about starting placements. So I think like E6, E7, F5, F6, I think are going to be the pairings for prospectors and conspirators. And then Swarm has the option of either D5, G6, or D2, right? D2 kind of put themselves by themselves. D5 to join a triangle, G6 to kind of join a triangle. And then I think it seems to me like Chaos probably has to start on D4 in this setup. And if they can get big building in round 1 to open Sanctuary and then try and get to 2 ship and the ship scoring tile, or temp ship and +1 ship in this round, and then score ship scoring in round 4 and round 6. Never sleep on H4 for Swarmlings. Yeah, no, that's totally fair, right? Could be H4 instead of D2, right? The only incentive to go D2 or I guess H4 would be better if they open on G6. Like, that's an easier, like, if they want to make a play for, like, 3rd. Oh, we got a game. Okay. Let me switch screen a little bit. Ooh, this sizing on things is wonky. Okay, give me a second to move some things around so we can see this a little bit better. I think we can put all of these down here. Okay, so we have E7, E6, D5, G6. Okay, so D5, G6 is the pair for Swarm. Okay, and then I can move this up here and make it a little bit bigger. And scroll over here to make sure it's actually capturing the thing I want it to capture, which is the log. Okay. I like H4 as anti-hate for brown. Yeah, that makes sense. H7 instead of F5 for prospectors. That's intriguing. Okay, and then Swarm started on big building. Prospectors got the shovel. Those both make sense. I think I can make a couple things a little bit bigger. Move this over. Shrink this a little bit. Move it over. Move this over. So I can make this bigger. Move it over. Make this bigger. Sorry, I'm messing with the setup at the start of the screen. I never considered the full screen that Iric suggested, and I think it just makes everything a little bit easier to see. So let's get these shrunk just a little bit so we can see all of those. Hey, Corgo. I mean, it's not all that different from just, you know, thinking about the games by myself, right? Instead of talking by myself about what I think people are going to do, I can now talk to strangers on the internet about what I think people are going to do in the game. Okay, and then we got, I actually think I just want to delete this because we can get a little bit of the log. Oh, I deleted the wrong window. My apologies. Give me 1 second. Let me get the game back. Nope. That is the wrong window. I am so sorry, folks. There we go. Okay. Got the game back. Unfortunately, Terra Mysticon is not a feasible thing for me this year, Jekyll. By the time I even knew it existed, I did not have money in the travel budget for a trip up to Canada. But my hope is to go next year, if TM4 happens. Okay, so where are we at? All right. First action from Matt, upgrade. First action from CM, upgrade. And then Prospectors dug G5. Okay. Got that. Okay, I think I can make these boards just a little bit bigger. Doing all the little minor things that I probably should have done well before the game, but that's okay. Such is life. And then I think actually what we could do... If we pull this back up... Okay, swarms are upgrading over on D5. Okay. What's at the top of that? Cool. Alright, so got a little bit more of the log. Got our game. Alright, so Conspirators ended up taking double dig for F4, E9. We got a priest action from Swarm and a workers action that had to have been from CM, who took Earth 1, Fire 1. Earth 1, Fire 1 I like a lot. Swarm get the first priest to Earth. That's really clutch. And then CM are gonna open Sanctuary, okay, because they got the workers action in order to open Sanctuary. Taking Earth 2, probably Air 2. I don't know. When I open Sanctuary round 1 on CM, I like taking the 3 Econ favors and Earth 1. This doesn't seem like a Water 2 game to me. And I think you can wait on Water 1. Yeah, I would be taking Air 2 here, I think, as my other tile. Did Conspirator? No, Conspirators, yeah, Conspirators got double dig, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely no reason to Water 2 here. Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. Ooh, Conspirators did get the Priest of Fire. That's hot. Yeah, they started on the Priest scroll. So what is are Conspirators building their stronghold this turn? I don't think they are. I think they're going to Temple here. Yeah, Temple for Fire 1. And build their stronghold in round 2, maybe? Yeah, getting the combo of the Priest and Double Dig in seat 1 is pretty crazy. Coins action for Conspirators. Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of leech, right? Like on E7, where Swarm upgraded, D4 Chaos double upgraded, and then they got some leech as Prospectors came up from H7, right? So it's not too surprising that they got the leech for the double dig. Okay, I think we're probably going to get a pass here from Matt. I wonder if he temp ships or if he worker powers. Yeah, I think worker power is just generically better. Oh, Matt's setting up for a second double dig. Because he didn't do any conversions. He's losing a power income to make sure he has 6 in bowl 1 at the start. Double digging almost certainly D7, G2 to set up for town here, right? Oh, so this is probably going to end up being an SA town. Wow, that's a awesome start for Conspirators. Like, they don't get their stronghold up round 1, but they can almost certainly get their stronghold up next round, right? Yeah, they have the coins. If they, that's hot. I think Matt's probably going to start by double dig D7 G2, no dwellings built, then stronghold. Probably on F4 is my guess, and pick up probably Earth 1 off the strongholds, turn the Fire 1 into something else. Yeah, that's the really cool part about this opening is I never would have even considered ignoring the stronghold event in round 1. Yes, I think that's the other nice part about this is getting some of CM's natural reds. right? Hitting D7 and G2. All right, CM second to pass. They take the priest. I guess their read is they can get coins with the second action, and they might want to just like get to 2 ship next turn. Try and stem the bleeding a little bit. Yeah, if they can get to how many? What's their worker income? 4. Yeah, so they get the coins. They'd have 13 coins. Yeah, this is almost certainly going to be get to 2 ship, and then if the single spade's still sitting there, I don't think it will be. Swarmlings take Earth 1. Interesting. I like it. It puts a lot of pressure on prospectors and conspirators to get the last copy of it. And they don't have any dwellings built yet. I'm a little bit worried about how they're expanding. I guess they can still they still have the workers left over from the big building tile, so they can almost certainly just build C3 here because the single spade action's still available. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jekyll, single dig C3. Double TP for opening for prospectors. I like that a lot. Especially in this, how coin tight this game is. And they should be able to pass ahead of Swarm to get the big building tile. And I think Swarm will pretty happily... Bridge! Oh, I like that. Dig C4, because they can kind of expect someone to come to D6 soon. D6 and B4 are both hexes that Chaos are going to want. And then, yeah, coins for... Oh, this also makes the single spade so much better next turn for them. And they're going to get that. Or the spade pass tile, I should say. And they're not giving any leech to... I mean, I don't think building C2 and offering the leech to Sam's bad. Sam wouldn't take it. Because they'd overfill. Okay. Fun opening round. So this should be double dig from conspirators. Yeah. And I'm fascinated to see if he builds the dwelling. I don't think he will. Because I don't think these hexes are in any danger. Yeah, I love this. So the next thing will be to pivot and build TP strongholds. Hopefully, I think he's hoping to get Earth 1, but I don't think it'll happen. But building the stronghold will get him the tile for the coins for the dwelling. Man, what a cool first couple rounds for Matt. And if CM has to just be taking the coins here, right? Like, I don't know, what is their line if it's not double dig? Or excuse me, 2 ship. Do they want to like priest a cult here? I can't imagine that that's what they want to do. Does priest to Earth. Interesting. What is CM's plan here with this priest to Earth? Are they planning on just getting the priest action? Yeah, prospectors prioritizing Earth 1 over the coins. That makes sense. So I guess now the interesting question is, what favor tiles do conspirators want to take? Is it just like water 2, put it back for earth 2? Using their shovel as swarm, yeah. Yeah, that's my thought too, Jekyll. I definitely would want those coins as CM, right, to get to 2 ship. Though I guess it had to have been obvious that this was the plan, throwing priests to cults. Otherwise, why wouldn't he have just taken temp ship? I guess there's a lot of value in having the 2 hard shipping, especially with the ship scoring tile in play. So I take it back. The priest probably still makes more sense. But I mean, he wheeled the coins. Swarm didn't have the power to take coins. Swarm only has 6 in bowl 2, 3 in bowl 1, none in bowl 3. Wow. They had 1 in bowl 3? No, Swarm have no power in bowl 3. Unless they did did they do a conversion? Oh, they did. Oh, then I don't know why they took the coins. You're right. My bad. I missed that. Yeah, that is odd. I would have definitely taken the coins with them. Yeah, that is odd. I don't get that. I'm just shocked that these coins are just like floating around the table, and nobody wants them. Like, if Swarm didn't take them again, I mean, are prospectors gonna get the coins with their 3rd action, just like casually letting them go around the table and not having to like sacrifice too much power in their bowls in order to pick them up? I guess they actually wanted the workers more. That's fair. Their coin income was decent. Huh. Yeah, they can pass on to what, big building or ship scoring? Wait, what did Brown end up doing? Oh, they took their Earth step. Okay. And Swarm passed back onto the big building. Water 1 makes a ton of sense. Or Water 2 makes a ton of sense. Get a step somewhere, probably on Earth, and then put it back. So I guess the question is, what do we think Swarm is passing for? Is it the coins or the double dig? One ship upgrade from CM after the hard dig. They get ship scoring. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So they're definitely going to go up to 2 ship next round. After, I mean, their probably plan is to start with a dig on B4 to get A6, B4, A9. Took the step on fire. Okay. What does the step on fire imply? Is he just going to put fire back? Is he putting water 2 back? Oh, first town, alright. Probably 2 key town for prospectors. Ship town? That's intriguing. Okay. I guess that lets them easily get to H5, I8, I7. Helps them get over to B3, B2. They don't have priest income right now. So I guess they're probably going to try and pass onto the shovel. Putting back water 2, yeah. Taking earth 2, right? Yeah. And then I think Matt probably just wants to pass here rather than build a dwelling here. He's got one dwelling, 4 income. I think the 2 points might matter more. Shovel for temp ship. Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Reconsidering temp ship. Yeah, I like the shovel better. I like getting the hardship. Yeah, I don't... Okay, he does want the worker income. Sure. Completely understandable. And then are we passing on to... I kind of like passing on to the temp ship here. And conspirator seat. Yeah. Lets them build G2, G1. If they up their ship once, they could also build F1. Coins for swarm, yep. The awkward thing as chaos here is you don't have a good place to put the second spade if you double dig. So they're just going to up their ship and hope to wheel the double dig. I like their odds of wheeling the double dig. Yeah, workers. Yeah, they should wheel the double dig here. So only have 3 workers. Yes. Yeah, that is a little awkward. So maybe they want to like single dig before and then just use the other 3 power as a worker. It would be a coin short of building now, but they're probably going to get leech at some point. Single dig got taken by swarm to take the 2 key. Yeah. I wonder if Swarm wants to up their digs this round. Because they are taking the double dig on D3, B4. Okay. And my guess is they probably want to build A9 and then either A6 or... Okay, undo. Okay, still double digging, but building on D3 first instead. I guess just to not give Swarm leech. Sure. Taking the priest for prospectors. Yeah, because they want to get to 2 ship here. The nice thing about prospectors is they can connect north or south. Currently, north is getting a little tight. They have to get E8 to connect north. But if they get E8, it should be very easy for them to connect north. Miss out on water 1. Yeah. That's almost certainly going to be true. I think they just have their worker production's so low, I think they just have the worst tempo for it. Conspirators hitting the undo button. First priest to air. Okay. Yeah. Got 3 priests already on the track for round 4. Last priest to earth for swarm. Okay. D6, yeah. Protect the hex. Up ship, yep. Yeah, 3 first bets is really nice for conspirators here. I have to imagine the rest of their round is something like G1 and then maybe town in the north building F6. And do a tile swap, because I think they want to get ready for... They probably actually do the tile swap for water 1 here. Putting back probably earth 2. Alright, we got stronghold, or SA for swarm. This has got to be to make sure they get their copy of water 1. Yeah. And now we got B4. Okay. CM's got the points lead here, but I would feel uncomfortable from their spot with the way this game is going. I don't think they have anywhere near the upside everybody else does. What's Matt doing with all this power? Yeah, throwing a dwelling out on G1. Yeah. The fact that they want to build those early TPs means that they're always in a spot to build a temple when they want to. Alright, we got the pass from CM. They'll have, what, 4 power in bowl 3? So they can take coins, workers if they want to. Probably coins. Probably just see them open coins. I'm really curious to see if Matt Town's here or he passed. Okay, this is where he's, yeah, taking his water 1. Yeah. Yeah, CM's definitely missing out on water 1. Okay, just closing off Earth. A round later than he probably wanted to for Swarm. Yeah, just building out dwellings as prospectors. I guess they're probably aiming to connect through the north. Okay, he is towning here. I like this because it sets up so that it's got a little bit of tempo on something like Air 1 with the Temple first action next round if he wants it. And then, yeah, 8-point town. She's got the lead on all the cults but Earth. Coin. It's got a lot of power income. Okay. Swarm takes the priest. Continuing. This seems like a good spot to pass on ship scoring if I'm conspirators. Right, take some coins. Or maybe take like a worker and a coin. Or even, if we want to get real spicy, turn this 5 power into a priest. And then land on ship scoring. Build a couple temples, maybe try and get our shipping up a little bit. We know we're almost certainly not getting the coins. Chaos should have Water Wand instead of Earth One. Yeah. I think the problem with Chaos's game is I think they were expecting to get Double Dig in round 2 and didn't, and ended up single digging plus 3 workers C3, which really limited their expansion in this dwelling round. Like, if they had 3 extra workers this round and could have built A6, A9, E3, I think Earth 1 makes a lot more sense. But I agree, in context, they would much rather be sitting on Water 1 here. But I don't know if I could pull the trigger on Water 1 at the beginning in round 1 over Earth 1. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe just like the track incentivizes scoring on TPs so hard with double TP events in the end that you just need to get Water 1 to keep up. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely would have taken Earth 1. But I know I would have taken Earth 1 without thinking about it. And so that's why I kind of want to talk through it a little bit to see if, like, is my instinct just wrong or what? Because I definitely would have taken the exact favor tiles that Chaos took in this game, opening Stronghold. Yeah. Typically, yeah, I think it's just the 3 lost workers to the hard dig on C3. I think that was like a massive blow to their game this round. I think the Priest to Earth round 2 was the real kind of head scratcher. I think they needed to use both those priests on shipping, and taking the coins. I think their game looks a lot better if they got to do that instead of having to partial hard dig C3. I don't know. Those coins went around forever. They still could have taken the coins with their second action, like, and maybe even gotten the second priest too. I don't know. Okay, we got. Okay, so he just took coins, passed on to ship scoring. Colt coins. This is definitely a double dig on F7 from Swarm, I think. Ship advance from Conspirators. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I mean, that's part of the fun of Terra Mystica, right? Is like conversations like this. I wonder what B-Ball's thinking about here, because to me the double dig on F7 is like kind of the obvious place to go, but maybe he just wants to get the temple up first. Make sure he gets a copy of Air 1. Took the workers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the workers actually better than the double dig, I think. Well, assuming you get some leech. Which you should, because there's no way that conspirators don't upgrade F6. And that should let you still take the double dig later, and no one else is in position to take it. Alright, this is almost certainly water 1 for prospectors. Yep. I wonder if Chaos just skips out on building a temple this round altogether. I wonder if it isn't just better for them to just build A3, A6, A9. And then pass early. Maybe they bridge if they end up with the power for it. Single dig for conspirators. Yeah, that makes sense. Make sure they get their connection. They could, but it's a lot of coins. The problem with upgrading digs is this turn at the least is they want to build 2 temples, I think. Or they're building at least 1 temple, right? I don't know. I know it's a leak in my game to not think about upgrading digs enough. Like in the obvious like upgrade dig situations, like round 4 dig event, and I wanted to make sure I'm digging for a single worker on whatever faction I'm playing. But you're probably right. It might be better to just upgrade digs. Fair, yeah. I will say I have a hard commitment where I have to leave at 1:45 mine times in about 40 minutes, so there is a possibility the stream will cut off before the end of this game if it ends up taking a little long. But hopefully we will catch all of it, because the pace of play has actually been, I think, pretty good to this point. So Air 1. Okay, so he does want to build a temple this round. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's better than an early pass, but I get it. Want to make sure you get a copy of Air 1 at the very least. And then, what? Priest for Matt, yeah. Wants to make sure he can. Up shipping again. Upgrade A11 with the free dwelling, okay. This makes me think he's probably building a second temple. Okay, double dig goes to prospectors for 2 priests. Okay, what are you taking besides Air 1? A 3-step or water 2? Undoes. Priest to air instead, sure. Conspirators. We're upgrading our shipping at some point this turn. We also want a temple at some point this turn. Yeah, a temple now makes pennies to me. My gut says you want to just take air 1 now. But maybe because you're conspirators, you take water 2. Yeah. You take water 2, you get a cult step somewhere. Probably on fire. Maybe on air. Actually, probably on air. And then put this back for air 1. Actually, I guess it depends on how he wants to manage his power. He could get the step on either fire or air. Or... Well, is he angling for for a second cult spade in after round 5, I guess is the question. Okay, we are double templing. Taking a copy of Water 2 as Swarm. Yeah, I like Water 2 here for Swarm. You really want to try and win at least one more of these cults. Cult to water, or Priest to water. Yeah, both these priests you definitely want to put to cult. Okay, now we're getting the temple out of CM. Air 1 is the easy one. And I guess just the last copy of Water 2? Unless you really want the 2 cult shovels, and then you could take Air 3. Or if you want another worker this round, you could take Fire 3. Yeah, I like Air 3. I like getting those two cult digs. So I guess if you had taken water, you're not competing on water cult though, because they have cult coins, so they could have had 3 steps on air between water 1 and the others. Okay, so he's taking it on fire, so he wants the power income now, because he's gonna put this water 2 back to take air 1 and get that last copy of air 1. Unless, of course, Prospectors beats him to it. Prospectors would have tempo on that if they want it. Okay, they're just doing Priest to water. So Conspirators still have the tempo on air 1 if they want it. Yeah, the dwelling from CM. Yep. Huh. That's interesting. Do we... No, he wants to up his shipping. Never mind. That's upping his shipping. Well, is upping his shipping better? Yeah, he has to do it long term anyways. Yeah. I was just thinking about whether Matt wanted to build a second temple this turn, because he has the resources for it to build a TP temple. But I think it's probably better to hold off on that third temple so that you can build more TPs in rounds 5 and 6. Swarms aren't in a great position. I don't know. I find it hard to evaluate Swarm's position because all their games look very similar to me, and half the time they suck and half the time they win. So I'm just going to let the Swarms do the Swarm thing. I do think CM, despite having a decent points lead here, is in kind of a rough spot. I would rather be in Conspirator. Oh, we got an early pass from conspirators. Or from prospectors. I missed that. They took the spade. Okay, I guess they want to just make sure that they get coins action next turn. I wonder if they're gearing up to build their stronghold next turn. Because I think their stronghold will be like legitimately good with how many TPs people want to build over the next couple of rounds. CM takes their cold step on fire. Yeah, I kind of expect this to just be up shipping. Maybe build F1 for conspirators. Unless he wants to pass onto the big building tile, but I don't think the extra points from passing on a big building here is better. It fully outweighs the extra 3 points from upping your shipping now, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Swarm presumably is going to turn their priest into a worker and pass on a big building. Yeah. And then Chaos is building their bridge now for a town. I wouldn't be shocked if they take worker town here, but 8 point also makes sense. Yeah, I was much more excited about Conspirators game earlier. Was that a Priest Town? Yeah, Priest Town for... Nope, changing his mind. I don't know, he's got a town coming still. Passing for... Yeah, well, the problem with passing first here is the big building. He wouldn't be able to get the big building tile. He wants. It would. Do you mean pass first so he can get back on the ship scoring tile, Eric? H6. Okay. Okay. So then he's probably building I9 too, because he's got the one power there. And at that point, he should have outlasted Chaos. Yeah, not having Earth One is making these dwellings a little sad. So I guess Chaos is probably passing on a worker power here. I wouldn't... Maybe Priest and 2 coins. I think the worker power is slightly better. And then Matt probably wants to pass on to Cult coins and pass quickly to get back onto ship scoring for the last round. Because I think he needs the scoring tile. And so what does his round 5 look like? Is it just like a couple TPs and go?
Man, Prospect just has so many resources. Alright, we got dig upgrades coming from Swarm. Double dig from CM. Trying to open up space for a second town. They're going to have 2 bridge towns? Yeah, that hard double dig on F2 didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Double dig F2, okay. If I plan for network points. Yeah, if they come up F7, E11, D8, they only need 2 ship to connect. Okay, so we're getting Sanctuary here. Is this just Fire 3, just like make sure we win that Colt? Water 2, sure. Water 2, get our coins, get our steps somewhere, put it back. Last Priest of Water for Prospectors. Yeah, this is, I mean, I imagine Swarm's going to up their, probably take workers here, or up their, oh, they already have fully upgraded digs. I missed that. I missed they upgraded their digs when they upgraded their digs the first time. Okay. So what are we doing here as conspirators? We want to take our cult step. Taking workers. Okay. Workers to me says we're counting here and we're building probably 3 trading posts. F4, G2, and then, I don't know, maybe H6, maybe G3, maybe F1, wherever he feels like he's doing the least amount of damage to himself by giving other people leech. The thing I'm worried about here from conspirators is I don't think they're going to have a quick round. Or at least not the quick round they want to land on. Ship scoring? Maybe Swarm are having a quick round and then they can land on big building after them. I don't know. The thing that's surprising me about this CM game is how many points they currently have. They've been able to just like keep up in the points column, even though their game has looked shaky at spots. Locking up air is nice. Yeah, I guess they have the 2 cult digs for next turn that they can throw on either F2 or D1. So they're gonna get a second town over here in the west. +1 on water, sure. Yeah, that's possible. But I don't. Yeah, this is. I'm not remotely surprised by this pass here by Swarm onto the ship scoring. Yeah, I think they might be angling to try and connect. Well, I guess to me that says that CM were planning on passing here onto ship scoring. Uh, that little sad face from Alaran. Yeah, if you're not planning on building your stronghold, then big building's way less interesting. Yeah. Yeah, water 2 and coins, and they still want to swap a tile, and they're probably looking to town here. Like, I would be surprised if Gray's not passing last. And so I think the actual plan from Matt here might be looking to see how he can lock up fire and water this turn. Because I think if he gets... Took water 3, okay. I think if he gets 8-point town, he could also maybe build... He might be short on coins on this, but he might also be able to build, instead of building a third... No, he's got enough coins. Instead of building a third teepee, he could build a temple to take water 2 back. But maybe he just takes fire 3. Or fire 2. Yeah, I think the plan... This water 3 takes really odd to me. Maybe the idea is that you can like put it back later and kind of go through that gate a couple times for some for some power. I don't know. I think we're gonna get some long tanks from everybody. Trying to figure out exactly who wants to pass on big building and when. Up shit from CM. Okay. Starting to get our TPs from conspirators. Okay, so prospectors are passing first. They're the ones who are going to get the big building tile. Okay, so CM's just spraying out a few more dwellings. CM looks like they're going to get to 11 structures, maybe 12. They find some hard dig somewhere. The game I'm super curious about here is definitely the conspirator game, Because it looks so strong after the first 2 rounds, but it has, like, not come together since then. And I'm just very curious to see how Matt plays this. Prospectors just have so many resources going into round 6 that even though they're like way behind on points, I think they're probably still favored because they're probably going to win network. And they're going to get at least one more town coming probably. What was that from Matt? Okay, it's Priest to Air. Okay. Alright, now CM is passing. They're taking the shovel. That makes a ton of sense. They're already on 3 ships, so by being able to dig H1, that's 2 dwellings. So that gets them to at least 12 structures. 13 structures because they get the 2 cold spades on either D1 or F2. And now it's just conspirators by themselves. Okay, they're towning here. I would be very surprised if this is not 8-point town. Do they have second on network? I'm not convinced they actually have second on network. Like, they do have 2 cult wins. But I'm not convinced they have second on network. Maybe they do? I guess they're already on 12 structures. They just need their shipping. But I don't know where their hexes are. Probably third. I don't think Swarms gets past them. I think I legitimately feel like CM might be able to pull past them because I think CM has more hexes available to them. But maybe CM doesn't have the resources even though they have the hexes. Fair. Making the late push for some points on Earth. I don't know, maybe this Conspirators game is looking better than I thought it did just a little bit ago. Pass on to the Priest. Okay. I just get 2 cold spades, I guess. Yeah, you kind of have to put these cold spades on D1, because if you put them on F2, you're going to get... Oh, that's not what you want to do. It's not what you want to do. Because, like, where's Conspirators putting their... Oh, where did Conspirators put their cold spades? I-10? Oh, I see. Okay, so Matt's trying to go for a 3rd town, potentially. If he can get the bridge. Yeah, because he probably wants Fire 2 anyways. Yeah. What was, coins for Swarmlings? We got the fat structure, F2. I need to leave in the next trading in fire 1 for fire 2. Yeah, that is satisfying. I will need to head out in about 10 minutes, so I think I'm going to miss the very end of the game. I will post a link to the game on BGA if people want to go watch the end of the game without my commentary. Yeah, of course. I've very much enjoyed streaming this cup, and I'm planning on going to stream my perspective of my base map game on Thursday. That game has myself, Barnwall, Matt the Lesser, and Avon555. So what just... Map built dwelling, yes. Dwelling from B-ball. Okay. Digging there. Okay. I wonder if we're going to see the... Nah, it's probably way better to just dig E4. Yeah. Okay. I think now is a good time for me to call the stream. I posted a link to the game in chat. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I will probably still post this VOD to YouTube afterwards with a link to the game in the description so people can see how it actually ends up. But I'll leave you with my predictions from my seat. I think Prospectors are still going to pull this out. I think they're first on network. Though maybe their Colts are actually... The Colts aren't that great. I think they'll probably actually end second. They'll probably end second. And then I think I'm going to say Swarm first. Is this right? I don't know. This is a really close game. I really wish I could stay till the end of it. I don't know what my predictions are. I think I could reasonably understand any set of outcomes to this game. So I look forward to seeing how it ends afterwards. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thanks for stopping by. See you next Thursday for a base map game.